Okay, production procedures, the Thursday class. What did we learn today? Well, the three talks were project management from the initiation phase leading into the planning phase. I completed the initiation phase in this part of it, where initiation is in the goal. I talked for a long time about how you are measured in any given situation determines how you behave. The example I gave was we once took 10 points off for a scrapped part. You could turn in a perfect part on the second one and only get a 90. So measurement determines behavior. If it does that, then what does the machinist do? He doesn't take any chances in the shop. He takes his sweet time. He takes too long to get the project done because he doesn't want to lose the 10 points. We are measuring him and grading him by that way, so he behaves a certain way. All right? And in the goal, it's the same thing. Their cost measures and their standard accounting methods are leading them in the wrong direction. They're leading them down the tubes, as it were, because they're being measured wrong. They're thinking that this is what I've got to do to keep downtown happy, when what they're doing is not leading to the goal. So Jonah very carefully defines these terms, these accounting terms, and then he makes Mr. Rogo express them in terms of the goal. And then Lou, on page 73, the accountant, gives a very good synopsis about the deeper meanings of these things as in terms of their plant. So once again, the definition of the terms in our context is the difference between success or failure. So the measurements. Throughput is the rate at which the money is generated through sales. Why should the plant worry about sales? They've got to make things. Well, you got to be, if you want to balance the flow of things through your plant and make a lot of good money and also get the products in the hands of the customer when they want them, then you have got to do that. You have got to think about sales. Inventory is all of the money invested in purchasing the things we need to turn it into a product. But operating expense is all the money spent to turn inventory into throughput. The question came up then, how do you account for labor? And Jonah explains later on that he wanted to define the terms this way because he wanted to distinguish between an expense and an investment. So those were the all-important measures. And we saw and discussed in detail how they were making them behave. But at this time in the course, I have to move on from initiation to planning. So are there more initiation steps that are going to take place in the book? Sure, look for them. But for now, I'm putting it to bed because I think we've got enough of what we need. Project initiation means, what do I know and what do I not know? What they know is that they're going down the tubes. What they don't know is if they're actually making any money. So they need these measurements to determine whether they're making any money or not. So, and the discussion that takes place after this, though, is around on page 87, where we find an overemphasis on the cost world. Cutting expenses can end up hurting your throughput, your ability to make orders on time and in the customer's hand at the price that they want to pay. It is better to think of all the measures at one time rather than just trying to cut one of them. Adjust to the changes using all three terms instead of just focusing on the cost of something in order to get more money out at the end, because you may be harming the steady flow of goods through your plant and into your customer's hand. Homework is to please try to finish reading the goal. Read, read, read. If you have to skim, then skim it. And then you can skim the book again later on. as you're skimming right in the margins for where you notice that they are in one or other of the project management life cycles. Are they executing at this point? Are they making changes and executing them? Are they wrapping things up and saying, that worked, now let's try this? And the last thing I said was to read about dependent events and statistical fluctuations as to why we cannot balance the flow of things through the plant. If you want this nice balanced flow where you have trimmed the flow through the plant to match your market demand, then this emphasis on statistical fluctuations and dependent events is important to notice. And that will all come out on the walk, and I ask you to concentrate on Herbie. The thing we don't want to do is trim capacity, cut people, sell machines, do all this in order to get less expense. No, we've got to get the product into our customers' hands when they want, and then things will take care of themselves. Thank you, and we will see you next Tuesday.